Ooh, what's this? I don't think I've. Okay, finally, a full-fledged video on this situation. That way I can like pick it apart like so much easier, right? But I don't know if you guys saw everything on Twitter, but there's been like a you know a lot of outrage, a lot less outrage than I would say the doctor disrespect situation, which is really strange because it's the exact same shit. By the way, right? You know, some minor got exploited. They got hurt really bad. You know what I'm saying? This isn't good. But Kris it's not over because he left Mr. Beast. Trust me. The story has just started. Plenty more nukes. So if we go to Keemstar, right? He actually does a bit of reporting on this like situation. But yes, it's getting absurd. Kris isn't my nightmare. He's my fucking friend. Things are fine. All this transphobe. Yeah, dude. Okay, straight up. I'm gonna say one thing. If you guys think it's coincidental that this guy who calls himself Mr. Beast is openly supporting his friend doing this shit in front of children on his channel, doing it to children directly off camera, you know what I mean? Like, he knows everything about what his friend is doing. I guarantee it. I guarantee you that he knew already about the whole situation, and he just let it slide. Do you think it's coincidental that a man who calls himself Mr. Beast, something that's biblically not good, you know, the beast from the Bible, you know what I'm saying? This isn't good. To think that any of this is coincidental, that Mr. Beast, right? Let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, not this. I was already doing that. So if you look up Mr. Beast, he has 305 million subscribers. Think about this. You don't get this popular on the Matrix without selling your soul. And this man has no backbone, doesn't stand by anything, doesn't speak about anything. He just does his repetitive content over and over again. You can see that he actually has nothing where he talks about this. And on his Twitter, he isn't exactly the most well outspoken either. So let's just get into the video, right?
Hello guys and gals, me Mudahar, and you know, chances are you probably know one of the largest channels on YouTube, Mr. Beast, 300 plus million subscribers, massive channel, and you probably also know some of the people that appear on Mr. Beast's channel aside from Mr. Beast. One of them being Kris Tyson, who is by far one of the most popular online.
It's just Kris.
But also,
his name is Kris, as a he.
One of the most controversial online creators. Now, obviously, you know, I'm going to get the elephant out of the room in this situation. Ava is a trans woman, and months ago, when, you know, looking into Ava Tyson and the, you know, other creators that have actually made videos on her, people like SunnyV2, for instance. Now, in the last few days over the weekend, it came out with allegations that Kris Tyson was talking inappropriately to a minor, basically making inappropriate jokes with people that were, I believe, 13, 14 at the time. Now, obviously,
there it is.
As an adult, you probably shouldn't be speaking, you know, in any form of candid way like that with a minor.
It seems pretty obvious. It is obvious, at least to me. But for some people who are like retarded, for some reason it's not that obvious to them. You have to actually tell them that talking to minors is bad.
But these are things that I want to seriously look into because these are very life-ruining level of allegations, and obviously I think everyone should take serious care into reporting and looking into this kind of stuff. So I decided to actually reach out to some of the people affected. But the other thing I've noticed on the internet, which I'll mention for fair sake, is because of the trans identity I mentioned at the beginning, this has become a culture war talking point, and you'll find discourse like, this person's Kris Tyson setting the entire clock back like 200 years or whatever. And if you're...
Okay, dude. I'll say this. You can say these things all you want. You can make these claims they've been set back. They were already set back, dude. There is no sending them back. They were already in their primal stage. There's no getting them out of a primal stage. They're barbaric. Think about it.
Brain is set there, then I think it's best to refocus and look at these individuals as individuals, okay? You can find tons of bad people in every community. That said,
it's not to say that all gay people are bad, by the way. Like, I know personally, I've known plenty of very nice bisexual or gay people who have just, you know, minded their own business, done their thing, and most importantly, they didn't shove it in everyone's faces or, in, God forbid, children's faces.
There are
There are people like that, but at the same time, most of them aren't.
a few things that I
Unfortunately,
find inexcusable.
a lot of these people are like sexually depraved weirdos.
You can find tons of bad people in every community. That said, there are a few things that I find.
See, that's another point. You can find tons of bad people in every community. No one community is, like, I would say almost no one community like ever is exempt from that. There's going to be bad people everywhere.
Inexcusable from a personal level, and it's beyond more than just
Bad people who come and go, you know what I'm saying? Like, if your brand, if your company is pure enough, then those people will only come and go. They won't stick around. You won't let them stick around because it's your company. It's your, you know, your environment. You have to control that. You know what I'm saying? You should only surround yourself with the right people.
what people are talking about. So let's actually dive in. Now, in this situation, I like to always delve deep into these situations and really try to come to the truth of the matter. And oftentimes, the truth is very nuanced. Now, this actual thing really sparked into the mainstream, where now there's 100,000 plus tweets that exist now.
Look at that. Just as I was talking about in my last video, where is Biden? That's in the top searches of Twitter, by the way, in politics. Honestly, it's bigger than these other ones. Bigger than Fortnite, bigger than Kris Tyson. Or Kris Tyson's like second most, as it seems, but this is insane, dude. This is crazy.
This whole story
Why do we have to ask where our president is? Why don't we know?
has become a trending situation on the internet, and one of the actual, spearheads into this was a YouTuber known as Prism42. Now, Prism42 made a 59-minute, 18-second long
Oh my
video
goodness.
going over the, Ava Tyson story, and they actually jumped into showing some actual, screenshots that were pretty wild when initially anybody read, okay? So, in the video that Prism42 had made, they were providing screenshots from Twitter, or X, I guess, and Discord as evidence in this situation. So I decided to look at some of the messages that were showcased, and for instance, in this screenshot, it appeared that this person right here was
Technical difficulties. Let me go back.
scored as evidence in this situation. So I decided to look at some of the messages that were showcased, and for instance, in this screenshot, it appeared that this person right here.
Back when he looked, normal.
Here was the actual, victim in question, all right, alleged victim. All right, this is
And by the way, both of these are weirdos. I've never gotten good vibes from any of them, especially this one over here on the left. I don't remember his name, but like immediately, but I just feel like he's always been parasocial and weird.
Lava. All right, I'm just gonna use that name for.
And there's never a good reason, or there's never a good reason to trust him whenever he hangs around Mr. Beast.
For context purposes. So the messages in question.
I don't trust anybody who calls himself Mr. Beast, to be honest.
Were these, okay? For instance, one of them was from Lava. Check again, CCASYT. Kris posts, I posted some fire nudes for you, please. No share. So, yeah, immediately people looked at.
Ooh. Ooh.
Some of those messages.
That's not good.
And we're like, whoa, that's sketchy.
Yeah.
Ava over here, not $5, pathetic. JK, wait till my Twitch revenue comes in. So initially when I was seeing this, a lot of the assumption that this might have been DMs weren't really DMs. Those were obviously public interaction between people. And obviously when it comes to minors and adults on the internet, there should be a pretty hard gap in between these individuals. Now, I decided, in good journalistic integrity, to reach out to this individual, Lava. Turns out they actually reached out to me first. I actually jumped into a call with them, talked about the situation, and they basically told me all the context right here. For instance, there is a rumor about a camping trip where I guess, they met up with the Mr. Beast individuals as a minor, and they had said, my family goes to North Carolina every year for vacation. We stay in a very nice camper at a nice campground. It happens to be 2 hours away from the Mr. Beast studio, and I'd been helping with some Beast gaming videos, remotely at the time. Instead of doing it remotely, okay? My parents drove me to the studio and met the entire crew. They knew where I was and met the crew before leaving. I helped record some videos, and then my parents picked me up and left. This is where the picture is from when my face is blurred, and it was taken at the studio with multiple people there. So, anyways, a tweet about a hentai addiction, okay? I don't think I have to explain my audience what hentai is, but I'm sure you can figure that out. At the time, Ava was
Yeah, you guys should know what that is by now.
a very public anime fan. I personally am not. Me too, buddy. The friend group we had just randomly started saying,
Personally, I'm not, but you know, I can vibe with it. There's actually a couple animes I have watched before and I didn't mind. So I'll say that they have their good shows, but I'm not personally like a avid like fan. I don't go out of my way to watch anime if that makes sense.
he had a hentai addiction because it was funny and good inside joke. I was never shown any hentai, and there was never an attempt to show me it. Okay, fine. The Coming for America picture was sent to the group chat I was in, and not to me personally. It's just a funny picture. I was never sent
I wouldn't call it funny. I call it cringe.
anything explicit or asked to send anything explicit, vice versa. I'm not a victim of grooming, and if I was, I would have already come forward. I'm on the internet way more than an average person, and I've seen multiple instances of people actually getting groomed. I'm not one of them. Please stop using my name to attack someone. There are real victims of SA and grooming that deserve to have their voices heard. Now, at this moment in time, to be honest with you, I really can't just make somebody a victim if they keep claiming that they are not. And this is one of those things where obviously people had basically started to look at this whole controversial situation and wonder, is this realistically, just an actual really messed up situation? Or is this a possible politicized situation where because of what, Ava Tyson's, personal characteristics are, maybe it's used as a political topic point to make an entire group of people look like, groomers and whatnot, okay? But this is where a similar situation to, Keffels, who I looked at about a month and a half ago. And in that situation, it was really a similar thing where I really had to basically tell the audience, I was just looking at one bad person, okay? I'm not trying to paint an entire community of people as bad. A lot of people self-report themselves when they don't look at a situation like this pretty critically. Now, that being said, I wanted to provide everything for context here. This also said, if you're in a group chat that intermixes adults with people under the age of 18, minors in this case, you probably shouldn't be deploying images that, state coming for America. Like, that word should never even be uttered.
Yeah, dude, you gotta like talk a different way to minors. You gotta talk a different way to a lot of like certain people. Like you actually,
The other thing
you have to. Can't say enough. You gotta read the room, dude.
is, when you got situations like hentai being mentioned as an adult, which you are in this situation, you should shut that down. This kind of stuff is never the fault of a minor, but as an adult, you absolutely have to fucking sanitize your jokes, no matter how edgy you think your group is, especially when you got people under the age of 18. It's just a terrible look. It's disgusting, and there really isn't any way you can spin it to somehow soften the blow. There's a lot of things that I've discovered in this entire situation where it really comes across as Ava Tyson actually being not a great person, okay? So let's get into things that we can actually somewhat reasonably confirm through the power of the internet, Wayback Archives, and so on and so forth. Now, according to, according to Lava, who had actually told me that their interaction with this individual, Prism, was not something that was entirely discussed properly. They actually believed that they were,
Fuck, sorry about that.
Now, according to Lava, who had actually told me that their interaction with this individual, Prism, was not something that was entirely discussed properly. They actually believed that they were more so applying for a job, from what I understand, versus actually discussing these entire situations. Which, again, if you're an interviewer or you're a journalist and you're not actually being upfront and honest about why you want to interact with the subject in the first place, that's already a big issue right there. So here's the thing. If you want to actually go and, drop some hardcore evidence on people, you probably want to do it in a realistic fashion. Honestly, this is one of those situations where people end up being sued for in a court because of, again, mishandled evidence and mishandled allegations like this. Now, of course, in this situation, I use allegations very heavily because, again, I don't really believe any of these messages on Discord or Snapchat or really anything unless I can actually refresh pages. But, we're already getting too deep into the weeds right now. Let me actually pull you into the next bit of allegations that have popped up about.
That's huge, by the way. And I 100% stand by that because, I mean, one thing is for sure, innocent until proven guilty, right? You have to, you gotta have like accurate receipts. You gotta have like live archives, or not even just like live, but you can have archives, and that would typically be more than enough. But as he said, without the proof, with things just being said on the internet, you can't believe everything you see, or else, it could turn into another Trevor Bauer situation where his career potentially gets ruined, but the allegations just aren't true. And I'm gonna say this. this actually connects with the whole Zillakami situation because I actually don't personally I don't believe everything with the whole Zillakami situation. I believe that at one point, yes, he was probably hurt and manipulated by people around him, and I can relate to that heavily. And so, one, I think that not everything that was said was true. Number two, I think he is actually on the path of redemption from what I've seen on the man's like stories and whatnot. Because if you actually follow like Zillakami like on his Instagram and stuff like that, you can see like every now and then him like posting life updates, and one of them that I saw, I would say like a month ago, at least a month ago, was him going to church, and I'm like, wow, because let me go off on like a little bit of a side tangent here. Let me just show you something, because this is powerful. There's a song here that I want to show you like a verse from, and from what I just spoke about, what do you think about it? How he went to church, and then and I hope that he's still doing that right thing, seeking Christ, because truthfully speaking, that's what he needs to do.
Bitch, there's a ghost in the house.
Run and drop and die. I like the way they drop when I'm outside. I like the way they run and fall and die. I like the way they drop when I'm outside. Bitches that they eat, and that's a label that they gave me. I don't worship Satan, I'm too evil that he hates me. God cannot save me, hell cannot take me. See, that's powerful, right? Like what you just said there, and the fact that he's going to church now, or at least he was. I hope he still is, for the record, because God can save you if you allow him to.
Ava. Now, because of these Twitter messages, all right, immediately I decided, sure, let me go check up, her actual Twitter account. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's completely wiped, which is obviously
Yep.
never a good sign, okay?
Yep.
So the next bit of information that came out was another individual, a different individual that was 14 years of age, came out and showcased a Snapchat conversation with them and Kris Tyson. So immediately looking into this situation, you can see that Ava, Kris Tyson over here, they actually have a video recording showing an actual Snapchat account. So of course, if you open this video up and you actually zoom in, you can see Tyson, let me actually get this is actually a little bit blurry. So Tyson Nos YT, okay? 202,000 followers, vlogger, and so on and so forth. They're there to showcase actual messages, for instance. Been stepped up, lol. Thanks, Dad, lol. Keep it a secret, though, lol. What exactly is a secret? Let me read this. Hey, I don't know if you heard about my bathwater prank and how crazy it's gone, but my stock is actually sold out at the moment. I believe this is in reference to, I think it's Belle Delphine, or one of the gamer girls' bathwater stuff right over there. Things that you probably shouldn't be discussing with somebody who is under the age of 18. At least I would think. Now, of course, being that this is again a video, even if it is a video, I can't exactly 100% verify these messages, right? This is again allegation stuff. But it's pretty serious, okay? If people are willing to talk about people like Cody Co, Dr. Disrespect, then these are things that, again, we all have to cover, especially when we're dealing with one of the largest channels on YouTube. So, again, looking at some of these messages, you got emojis. Of course, Dad. This is the best Snapchat
These are weird messages.
I've ever seen. So then there were some messages over here where they were explicitly
Why are you calling somebody else dad?
speaking
That's just so many red flags with that.
to a group of people, including, allegedly, one minor.
I know, dude. I would inside of that egg and then watch her eat it, and then watch her have with another man while she comments about how my shit never satisfy her.
Whoa!
Whoa, indeed.
Okay, I'm just gonna cut that right short, okay? You already had me on come inside people, alright? That's...
Yeah, I'm glad you cut it short.
not happening in my book. It's a little haram.
I hope he gets cancer in the mouth.
Okay. I gotta say, that is one of the not good places.
I hope he goes his entire life not smoking a single cigarette, and then when he gets 80, he just gets with some dude with some cancer. He shoves it in his mouth. And his mouth
Yeah.
But yeah, again, if there's one minor in there, probably
Deranged.
not a good thing to be saying. And of course, they started to also throw up archives of the original screenshot postings over here. For instance, if you look inside, this is an archive link right here by an account known as Young No Name. Now again, in this scenario, for instance, I wanted to see, hey, is this actually valid? Is this somebody's real actual account? And so I decided to look up Wayback Machine archives of this possible Snapchat account. So it turns out that account actually exists right here. It's an Kris Tyson account, actually with 211,000 subscribers. And yes, you can see that this is the original archive thing, Tyson Nos YT. So immediately, where is this account now? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it seems like it's deleted. So according to Snapchat as of now, that account doesn't seem to exist. Now, to me, anytime an account gets deleted like that, especially so quickly after it's been brought into a spotlight, is not something that I personally find, really reassuring, so to speak. That also being said, when it comes to, again, any form of messages like this, especially when things appear to be stories that are publicly posted that are intermixed between what appears to be DMs, which is kind of how I'm understanding Snapchat. I'm not exactly perfect at it. I don't use Snap all that much. And by not all that much, I mean if at all. But the thing about it is, obviously, I haven't refreshed these messages. I don't have them viewed on my device. So everything that I see on the internet, I take with a complete grain of salt in this situation. I think a lot of the interactions in that Discord conversation, if there was a minor present, and that
As you should.
was actually Kris and whatnot, these are not okay conversations or jokes to be making when a minor is present, period, right? So anyways, when I look at messages from all these people, I actually decided to reach out to the individuals in question the best that I can, and it really seems like whatever is actually present really isn't there. Now, you might be wondering, okay, Muda, that's really what it is, then what's next? Well, what really comes next at this point, ladies and gentlemen, is the darker side. Now, just because these two big things are not exactly...
Did he just make his background drop, like, darker as he said that? That's so cool.
...is the darker side.
That's catty.
Now, just because these two big things are not exactly substantiated enough for me to make a video on, what I'm about to show you is actually really disgusting, again, from my perspective. Now, to understand this next section, you have to understand an artist known as Shadman, okay? Now, Shadman...
Oh, jeez. Oh, boy, here we go.
...is a former YouTuber and artist known for creating Rule 34 art, and again, disgusting art, and most importantly, art that some would consider, lowly, for instance, right? Art that depicts younger-looking individuals, okay? Individuals that some would classify would resemble those under the age of 18. Now, this alone is not necessarily something that is completely illegal. In fact, the legality of it is different depending on where you live. I personally don't care much for this art style and find it reprehensible in my personal opinion, but where it gets really, really scary is when you actually come across an individual who has made actual depictions.
It is degeneracy. It is disgusting.
Of, dirty depictions of actual minors. Now, one of the most infamous characters on the internet is Keemstar. Keemstar has a daughter, and at the time, her daughter, who was 7 years old, Shadman had depicted this individual, in a...
I remember this. I remember when this happened, like, live. This was crazy.
Disgusting manner, okay? A sexualized manner, which, of course, obviously shouldn't have happened. And in fact, friend of the channel, Colossal is Crazy, actually even confronted him on this situation. Listen to this.
Hello?
Hello, Colossal. Yes, I can.
No problem being on stream. Yeah, apologies if I slur my words a bit. I just kind of got up a few hours ago.
No problem.
All this shit. Let me just be very clear. I was not calling you children. What I did was say what you did by drawing this picture, putting it in context on your website with a bunch of other pictures of little girls, was especially considering it's Keemstar's daughter. He doesn't deserve that. Why target his daughter like that? And I felt that was... But I'm not calling you...
Totally understand. You understand that it was obviously part of, like, the controversial nature of the picture to post it under such context.
It started off as a controversial joke.
Yes.
You didn't go through with it.
I would have never.
You did draw a picture of Keemstar's daughter in kind of like... Obviously, she's not... I do feel like there are some connotations regarding that picture. Would you agree?
Totally agree. Yes, totally agree. Colossal, I respect you like a hell of a lot. And just like man to man, if you think it would be better for me to take it down, I would take it down just out of respect to you.
If you could do that, I think that would be wonderful.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do that right now. I'm gonna take it down out of respect, Colossal.
He doesn't do it because he thinks it's right. By the way, he does it because somebody else told him to.
I'm gonna do it.
Think about that.
It's gonna be all over.
It's already out there,
Yeah.
so
This is not something that even Ava Tyson will probably disagree. Even Keemstar, who gets in joining talking about this, will tell you that yes, Kris Tyson actually apparently supported this artist Shadman, who drew his daughter at age 8 in a disgusting manner. That's a known fact, according to this Keemstar fella. Privately, me and Kris even had a conversation about this roughly a month ago, as it still upsets me. This is not misinformation. This is a fact, according to Keemstar. So yeah, it is, without a doubt, one of the more disgusting things that, you know, exists. Now, Shadman, since that whole thing, has actually been arrested in Los Angeles for, guess what? Assault with a deadly weapon, as according to this arrest sheet right here.
Wow.
But beyond all of
Big surprise.
this, okay, Shadman is still back, actually still actively drawing, and this is somebody that has had kind of a connection to a lot of people in the Newgrounds artistic sphere. But we'll get to that in a bit. Now, in regards to Shadman drawing an actual human being underage in a disgusting manner underneath the United States obscenity laws, obscenity is not protected under the First Amendment's right to free speech, and violations and federal obscenity laws are criminal offenses. So while the United States has a, three-pronged Miller test, to go down to obscenity law and minors, federal law strictly prohibits the distribution of obscene matters to minors. Any transfer or attempt to transfer such materials to a minor under the age of 16, including over the internet, is punishable under federal law. It is also illegal to use misleading website domain names with intent to deceive a minor into viewing harmful or obscene materials, for example, using a cartoon character or children's television programs. But in this next paragraph, again, in addition, visual representations such as drawings, cartoons, or paintings that appear to depict minors engaged in activity are obscene are also illegal under federal law. So
That's based.
drawings,
We need to, like, somehow implement that way more. And I don't know how we're gonna do it, but
cartoons that depict this kind of stuff
there's a lot of weirdos out there who, like, get into that stuff, and it's not good.
are obscene and illegal under federal law. Okay, so again, because this never went to a court, obviously I'm just bringing up to show you what obscenity law is and how it's actually not protected, and why the legality of some of these images are in question. Point of the matter is, with an artist like this producing content, you probably never want to financially support them whatsoever. Now again, the reason why Shadman was brought up into the story is yours truly, Ava Tyson, posted bonus fidget spinners. Again, I actually have the Wayback Machine link right over here, so no, this wasn't Inspect Elemented, this came right from the actual horse's mouth. Really like to throw in some extra autism at Shadbase. Now, at this moment in time, I have to censor a lot of this image because it appears to be somebody that is not the age of 18, somebody that would fit that lowly criteria, so to speak. Now, this was posted all the way back in 2017, so, it wasn't that far off, okay? People were definitely well within their mental faculties. But again, where people get really freaked out about it is when they start to look at frames of older videos on the Beast channel, and they find that, you got these individuals sitting down, and you got Jimmy staring at what appears to be the same exact image hung up on the wall, okay, allegedly at, Ava's home. Now, it's one thing supporting a pretty terrible artist in that regard, it's another thing hanging up that filth in your fucking house. Now, I think that's a
Yeah. Everything about this is just so deranged.
rightful thing to criticize anybody for, and it doesn't have anything to do with their intrinsic characteristics, like being transgender. It has more to do with them being a fucking weird person. So again, because of the scrutiny that this individual gets, what effectively happens was old Reddit accounts started popping up. Now, according to the internet, they started to look into older accounts right over here and found that they were linked to a Reddit account known as TysonBoy34. One that we'll find out actually has a YouTube channel later on, and it gets even weirder. So, according to archives that were captured, Tyson Boy would basically just post things like, no second monitor to have hentai constantly playing, not good enough for this boy, allegedly being posted, and
Ooh, that's just weird.
of course you had other things like...
Why are you so deranged to where you constantly need that, dude? You have to fix your brain at that point. You cannot operate that way, man.
Shadman is gonna love this! What would Shadman allegedly love? The Pixar's Incredible 2 trailer. Woo! That's filthy. For instance, 4chan.
Ooh.
Right over here on the old 4chan thread. Tyson.
You guys remember that, by the way? The Incredibles 2 trailer? Like the original one? Hold on. The reason why they were saying that is because it has a... Oh, it's because it's just a baby, dude. Oh, no.
Voices. Why would you use your VR headset for anything other than 3D? Ooh, that's a little too filthy for the internet, man. 3D lowly gang, boom. To me, now, obviously.
Yeah, that's not good.
Some of these are dirtier jokes, but in the grand scheme of things, again.
I just don't like anything in that nature. You know what I mean? I just think it's. I don't want to say it's too much, but I will say it's just way out of the line.
The one mention about
It's always out of the line.
Shadman really wasn't something that I was comfortable reading. So of course, throughout all this, ladies and gentlemen, the next bit that I'm about to show you is probably the reason that I'm even making this video to begin with. Now, one of the things that was posted by Ava Tyson was something alleged to their old YouTube channel where they were sharing revenge, photography photos with their actual audience.
I read about this. Kris Tyson was allegedly spreading revenge porn of the girl from our Carly dude, Jeanette McCurdy. You guys remember her? The blonde? Yeah, this girl. Yeah, there was supposedly some naughty stuff of her on the internet. Wasn't good.
Famous Nickelodeon star Jeanette McCurdy. So when I saw this in a video, immediately in my head, I have to actually research this before I even run through with it, okay? Because
you know where he probably got that? He probably got that from the, I don't know why I closed it out, but he probably got that from when you guys remember the time on the internet when all of the celebrity nudes got leaked like randomly on like a website? I'm pretty sure he probably got it from that. Like the massive leak. You guys know what I'm talking about. I don't remember what it was called, but I think it happened way back in like what, 2018, 2016, something like that.
Again, with the
Sometime before 2018, that's for sure.
internet, when you share things around,
Or sometime before 2020. Sorry, sometime before 2020. I think it was like 2018, 2016, somewhere within that timeline.
when you don't
It was insane.
do a modicum of research or you look up the photos with their actual audience of famous Nickelodeon star Jeanette McCurdy. So when I saw this in a video, immediately in my head, I have to actually research this before I even run through with it, okay? Because again, with the internet, when you share things around and you don't do a modicum of research or you look up the actual archives, then you are possibly slandering an individual. So to go down this rabbit hole and to prove that the video that you saw in that allegation actually belonged to Kris Tyson, let's go look up things like the MrBeast Wiki, where they actually go to Kris Tyson and they start showing the Tyson YouTube channel. So that one apparently doesn't exist. youtube.com/c/Kris. Okay, so anyways, looking up, again, older accounts, for instance, right over here, I looked up TysonBoy34, again, name pretty similar to the Reddit account. You can see that TysonBoy34 posted a video called Call of Duty Ghost, Dogs Make Me Rage, 28-second clip, and it appears to show who is, Ava Tyson, a lot younger back in the day, 10 years ago.
Kris.
So in this post,
That's Kris.
you can see that MrBeast is posting out LMAO. I know you came here from his channel info. This channel hasn't been used in a long time. So actual interaction from an official MrBeast channel, and again, it takes a simple click on this to see that yes, this is the actual MrBeast channel, not some fucking clone. And it's reasonable to assume as well too, and to go into it, is when I looked at a lot of these big YouTube Wikitubia pages, which again went over, Ava's actual YouTube profile, their wiki description over here. One of the things that they were also linked to from here was that TysonBoy34 account. Now again, this, with the interaction of MrBeast, obviously, there's a reasonable expectation that this belongs to Ava Tyson, okay? So, when I'm looking through this channel, literally 10 years ago, with 85,000 views, Jeanette McCurdy picture leak info plus link. Not looking fucking good, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, looking into it, I decided, sure, let's click down, and
Wait.
not looking 1,000 views.
10 years ago. 10 years ago. Wait. So that was 2014. Okay, I had my timeline almost right. It was like 2014.
Jeanette McCurdy picture leak info plus link. Not looking fucking good, that's for sure. So immediately looking into it, I decided, sure, let's click down, and lo and behold, that appears to be good old Kris Tyson, posted 10 years ago, long before the days of artificial intelligence. So let's listen to what, Ava Tyson back in the day has to say.
Kris.
How you doing, you guys? So recently everybody's been hearing about the Jeanette McCurdy leak of her photos, and I know a lot of people were wondering about it, so I decided to do this little video to my 20 subscribers that may care, may not care, and if you guys are watching, thank you for watching it. But first off, what the story is, she sent pictures to her boyfriend, her now ex-boyfriend, and he leaked them out, and she is a very popular Nickelodeon star on the show, iCarly, and...
So, before anybody goes, but Muda, he was, young back then. To give an idea, I believe that Ava Tyson was born in 96, I'm 94, so, back in 2014, this would probably mean that they were just turning 18. Yeah, you're looking at somebody who would probably be 18 years of age at the time, right? when I was young, I knew at the time, okay, uploading, even when I was 16, 18, 20, whatever, uploading images that an ex-boyfriend leaked out of somebody or an ex-girlfriend leaked out falls under what is known as revenge pornography. It is never okay, all right? Just
Never
because
okay.
you are a minor at the time, you know, telling people, hey, go to this link or check this out. Maybe I'm not endorsing it, but I'll definitely link it in my YouTube channel. That's never okay, all right? 100%. It's a shame.
I'm not endorsing it, but I'm looking at my... Then what are you doing? If you're not endorsing, what do you call it? What do you call it if you're not endorsing it? You know what I mean? If you weren't endorsing it, you wouldn't put it in your channel in the first place. You wouldn't even talk about it.
Disgusting thing to do. And again, for people who are like, but this was 10 years ago, Muda, people change. This is the same group of
People changed. That's the biggest lie that has ever been told. People don't just change. They have to want to change.
people that will immediately dogpile me or anybody else for things that they would find in my past to use against me. So yeah, I really don't give a fuck if people are looking up things in the past. And honestly, this...
And it's not like like what I mean by that is like there are people who do actually like reflect on themselves. They do like seek to change and whatnot. But most people don't do that. Most people actually they stay the same for all their lives. They don't take risks. You know what I mean? They don't
that will immediately
start their own business. You know what I mean? All these little
dogpile
things.
me or anybody else for things that they would find in my past to use against me. So yeah, I really don't give a fuck if people are looking up things in the past. And honestly, this kind of shit doesn't age well, okay, at all, alright?
No.
It's disgusting back then, it is known to be disgusting back then,
This stuff ages like milk.
and it is disgusting now. Let's listen more.
Sam and Cat. And so first off, what you'll probably be seeing is the pulling of the show. It'll probably be taken off the air. Second off, you'll probably see the photos get taken down at some point tonight, maybe tomorrow, because Nickelodeon has that kind of power. But the links in the description if you want to see them. I mean, I'm not endorsing people to go look at somebody else's private business, but I know that you know, people might want to see them, so it's there if you want it.
You guys ever go to the grocery store and when you buy milk and it's like 2 days from expiration? That's the word I'm looking for. You know what that's like? Well, picture like instead of 2 days, but you buy milk and it's on the expiration date. And as soon as you open it and start cracking it open, that's when it starts aging. And then you have like a day to drink it or something like that. That's basically how this is looking. This is how this is aging.
I'm not endorsing anybody check out revenge pornography or leaked photos. But yeah, the link's in the description below, bro. Wild shit. You know, it's kind of crazy how people are like, whoa, you know, maybe you shouldn't be sharing somebody's personal private stuff. Even if it is available on a public ClearNet page on the internet, probably isn't good to share it. And yes, this person is a giant hypocrite based on what I'm about to show you.
First off, what I have to say though is that when you look on the news, you see people they've leaked nudes from their girlfriend at high school, and that girl kills herself. It's a tragic story. Everybody calls the guy a bully, but yeah, when people like Perez Hilton do it.
Did you really just say but after? Oh, dude, he's so evil.
It's considered entertainment.
So he's bringing up some cockroach e-celebrity shitbag like Perez Hilton and thinking, yeah, it's okay now if I do it. Anyways, you go to their actual link, I shit you not, they actually still have one that goes to Hollywood Life. So yeah, even tagged it up and everything. I do not support the leak, and I'm not condoning these actions. Dog, you just shared the actual link right there. And yes, it is the actual link, because when I put it into Wayback Machine, I do come across what appears to be leaked images that should not have been leaked and shared around. And yes, this person literally linked to a website right there. Now, this actually baffles me because I would think, damn, you know, why would anybody like this do that kind of behavior? And again, going back to Ava Tyson's page, I decided, man, maybe I should ask them about all of this stuff straight up. So I noticed, wow, I have the messages. Do I have DMs with Ava Tyson? I don't remember having any DM information or contact. Turns out, ladies and gentlemen, she actually did try contacting me at some point in May 13. What did I do in May? I talked about Keppels. And because of this, it basically sparked a bit of a, you know, transgender panic and discussion on, you know, a lot of popular Reddit boards. And to this day, I'm still basically fighting off accusations of transphobia. Now, Chris hits me up in the middle of a drive back home from New York.
Based.
And says, so glad you said there's legit info on Kiwi. She's referring to Kiwi Farms. Legit being people telling people to go to my house and, you know, do something bad. That website is...
Oh man. We totally feel so bad if that happens, man.
Is the reason my child has a gun pointed at him by cops. They renamed my family businesses on Google, harass and dox my family members to the point where they don't talk to me anymore, and are the reasons I had to move. So thank you for sending more eyes to the bottom of the barrel of the internet, where transphobia is encouraged by the creator who enjoys and has encouraged doxes of me, because they think that I am a Jewish person being paid by Disney to transition. Now, this is a very wild...
He might be getting paid from certain people, but I think that ultimately speaking, he's just an idiot and he's making these decisions of his own at the same time. You know what I mean? I think it's a little bit both.
accusation, because if Ava took maybe even 5 minutes out of her life to watch the video that she...
I'm willing to say that he was manipulated.
Very wild accusation, because if Ava took maybe even 5 minutes out of her life...
I mean, looking at his early life, it's clearly like demented already. Like he was already messed up in the head to begin with. So
to watch the video that she is so hard on criticizing, then she would realize that I actually decry what the actual website would do if it means harassing and doxing anyone. There's no actual, way that anybody can approve of that kind of behavior. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
But I believe the reason why, Kris Tyson dislikes a lot of online message boards and image boards and places like Kiwi Farms is they're the only people that are actually cataloging archive links of this stuff right there. A lot of creators and researchers on the internet and people who dig up stuff like this actually use that website, okay? I'm just going to be honest, that's just how it kind of works behind the scenes. Anybody that says otherwise, most often than not, is a little too cowardly to admit that they've maybe accessed the website. But to give you an idea about this situation, I don't condone any of this negative behavior, especially when people are harassing and doxing and attacking family members or even the person themselves. There's just no justification for it. But I find it very hypocritical how this person, even if it's 10 years ago, felt that they decided to put a link to another girl's nudes. Young girl, by the way, okay? Obviously, she didn't enjoy that whatsoever. It was disgusting then, and it's disgusting now.
Yep.
Now, this person, even if I didn't even directly link any of this, in fact, I never threw anything like that on my channel anyways, and they're getting mad at me for linking people in some weird proxy way to personal information, even though I very much have not. This is incredibly hypocritical.
He hasn't done any of this, but this is 100% true. Mudahar is very smart, very, very careful with how he comes across on the internet, to how he depicts himself. I've always had respect for Mudahar because he's just very well-spoken, takes good care of himself, all that fun jazz. You know what I'm saying? He actually makes really good content. He's made good content for years to come. I've been subscribed to him for years. You guys should subscribe to him by now if you haven't. Drop a like on this.
And one of the things that fucking made me laugh when I was putting the docket together for this video on such short notice. Look, at the end of the day, I don't think that Ava Tyson is a good person. I think Mr. Beast keeps some bad company. And
I think they're both not good people. You ever think about that? If you think Kris is not a good person, what makes you think about the people around him, including Mr. Beast, who enables and allows his friend to do these things? You know what I mean? If I was his friend, well, I mean I wouldn't be, but hypothetically speaking, if I was in Mr. Beast's position, well, number one, I wouldn't be called Mr. Beast. Number two, I would wholeheartedly just step in for my friend, and I would say, dude, this isn't good. You need to get help. You need to talk to somebody. You need to talk to God. You know what I mean?
there are two...
I wouldn't let any of these things happen to my friends, because I actually care about my friends and my loved ones.
Putting the docket together for this video on such short notice. Look, at the end of the day, I don't think that Ava Tyson is a good person. I think Mr. Beast keeps some bad company. And there are two actual situations, the Shadman stuff and this Jeanette McCurdy situation, that are incredibly disgusting things that should absolutely be viewed with complete scrutiny. However, these things are ultimately muddied behind waves of grooming or, these messages being shared that are still yet to be properly confirmed or actually vetted. I feel like if you want to nail somebody for disgusting behavior, you might as well stick to things that are actually a little bit more solid than just standard Discord messages or Snapchat messages or whatnot. Look, I think hyping up a lowly artist, and it's not just Ava that did it, by the way. There's plenty of Newground artists that have done this behavior. I believe Belle Delphine is even attached to it as well, too. As well as plenty of other, e-girls on the internet. I think like that Kiwi Sunset girl as well, too. I believe even you got individuals like Aaron Hansen or people related close to him. Look, the point is, I'm not throwing Kris Tyson exclusively under the bus over here. I'm just saying that there's, a group of people back then who decided to be adjacent to this disgusting artist, and, that's not a good look, all right?
No.
Putting up art like that is not a good look. And again, this Jeanette McCurdy stuff, it is actually disgusting to look at. It makes me want to fucking throw up because it's filthy. But yeah.
Yeah, me too, man.
Tyson, all the way in the internet. And honestly, deep diving into this individual has not made me look at them with a clean bill of health. Absolutely disgusting behavior, but not something that honestly really shocks me, given how much this person just constantly tries to hide away. In this entire editing process so far, Kris Tyson.
Look how he said that. This is a real tweet, by the way, real tweet. Because if you go on X, right, you gotta. Let me see, Kris. This is a real tweet. Not even kidding. So, and he's even. Oh, wait, he added more to this. He added more to this. Listen to how this. Like, read very carefully how this is worded. I would like to apologize for any of my past behavior or comments if it hurt or offended anyone. It was not my intent. Oh man, it wasn't his intent, guys. He wasn't meaning to hurt you. He wasn't meaning to exploit minors, you know what I mean? It wasn't his intent. Seeing recent events, we mutually decided it's best I permanently step away from all things Mr. Beast and social media to focus on my family and mental health. Well, the difference between like him stepping away and him getting kicked out is Mr. Beast is not making a stand about that. I want to add I've never I see. I never groomed anyone. The person who gets brought up in these allegations at LavaGS has a focus for that they are false. I don't believe you. We don't believe you. None of us believe you. Having said that, I humbly apologize to anyone. Why do you say that? Why don't you just say I'm sorry? Why is I'm sorry so hard to say? Humbly apologize to anyone that I have hurt in my unacceptable social media posts, past actions, and to those who may feel betrayed by how I used to act online. You mean how you act online now? Because nobody's liking how you act online now, buddy. To lump these two factors together to create a narrative that my behavior extended beyond bad edgy jokes is disgusting and did not happen. You never had edgy jokes. You just had bad jokes. Let's keep it 100, alright? They weren't edgy. You've never been edgy. In past years, I have learned that my old humor is not acceptable. I cannot change who I was, but I can continue to work on myself. I don't want these accusations to impact hundreds of people who work at Mr. Beast, which is why I have stepped away. It's pathetic. Very, very true. The past behavior here is Kris referring... The past behavior Kris was referring to involves a 13-year-old. Yep. And, he expects us to believe that he never groomed anyone? Yeah, dude. Fuck out of here.
Actually ended up coming out with an actual apology. Or a non-apology, as I would say. I would like to apologize for
It's not an apology. It's really not.
Any of my past behavior or comments if it hurt or offended anyone. It was not my intent.
I love how he ended it off there, dude. That's so perfect. It was not my intent. Dude, this is probably like the biggest meme ever, okay? Like, anyway, I don't think there's much more I can really add to that. So, if you guys enjoyed that, be sure to give it a like. All that fun jazz. You know, subscribe for more content. There's definitely more to come. More to report on. More to voice my opinion on, you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I hope you guys got something, like, useful from that. You know what I'm saying? At least some value of entertainment.
Hell no, I ain't tryna make amends. Pull up windows 5%, slide down on the op. If we miss, we slide a. If we miss, we slide again. Yeah, this ain't Wheel of Fortune, but my niggas tryna spin. Yeah, my niggas tryna. Hell no, I ain't tryna make amends.